Am I the jerk for making my fiance's daughter's picky eating habits a deal breaker for us marrying? I will probably get a lot of flack for this, so let me start with the usual comments I anticipate. No. His daughter does not have sensory issues, is neurodivergent, or any other mental disorders that might affect her eating habits. With that, I 28 female. I am a single mother to one kid 8 female, and have been dating and recently engaged to a man 27 male, and his child 8 female. The first half of us dating, he was going through a court battle and only had every other weekend with his daughter. We mostly planned activities as playdates, and his daughter took a quick liking to me and I to like her. Our daughters are best friends and very excited to become sisters. Once he was granted 50-50 custody, we started spending more time together, and I noticed his daughter is an extremely picky eater. As in, favorite foods are chicken tenders, French fries, pizza. This was immediately sirens for me because I'm a believer in the importance of a healthy and well-balanced diet, especially for children, and had many conversations with him about it. I used my own daughter as an example. I'm in the military and was away from her for 2 years between ages 3 to 5. When I received her back at age 5, she had also become very picky, and I made it a priority to fix that bad habit. It took about 6 months, and I had to ease her into it, but she now readily eats just about anything and is willing to try anything. I'm originally from a different country, so we visit my country and travel regularly to explore other countries. So that is another reason having a child that is easygoing with food is important to me. All of that to say that this has been a regular conversation between my fiancé and I. I have shared the tips that worked for me countless times, bringing it all back to last night. We went to eat Chinese food and ordered several plates. His daughter tried 2 minuscule bites of new foods, pot stickers and Tisso's chicken, mad faces at both, and had chicken fried rice for dinner. She ate all her chicken and picked at the grains of rice to avoid eating any carrots or green beans. Her dad didn't say much other than suggested she try to eat some vegetables, to which she simply refused to, and he didn't push the issue. He told her no dessert if she didn't try to eat her vegetables, and when her fortune cookie came, he didn't stop her from eating it or taking her lollipop home. It was frustrating to say the least to watch him not address what she was doing and at least require her to eat some of her vegetables. Last night it all got to me, and this morning when we talked about it, I told him that his lack of serious effort in trying to modify and improve his daughter's eating habits are a deal breaker for me, and I would not be willing to combine our households until he made significant progress on it. He was obviously upset about this and says I'm being unfair and not giving him enough time, but I see almost no effort in his parenting techniques or strategies since the 6 months he's had his daughter half-time. I know this might seem like such a trivial thing to break things off for, but I could write almost the exact same post about his daughter's education. This is her 2nd year in 2nd grade. She got held back due to not being able to read, and she's still reading on a 1st grade level. And his lack of effort in prioritizing and making significant progress in that as well. Once again, I also have experience in this topic. When I received my daughter, she was also significantly behind on learning to read, scoring so low on her state reading tests in kindergarten and first that she qualified for free books programs. I had to turn that around as well. She now reads 2 grade levels above and is a complete bookworm. I'm genuinely starting to feel that this man is simply expecting to have me take over all the hard parts of parenting, and he's just waiting out until then, and it's really starting to frustrate me. My fiancé keeps saying he'll back me up on anything I want to enforce once we move in together. But I see this turning into a situation where I become the evil stepmother who suddenly changes everything, enforces new rules, and his daughter quickly resents me. I have no issues with his daughter. In fact, children are completely innocent in situations like this. This is a complete incompatibility in parenting beliefs, and it's causing me to have serious doubts and apprehension in combining our families. Edit. A lot of people are telling me I'm a wicked stepmother already, but I haven't done or enforced anything on his daughter. I know it is not my place, and I of course don't want her to hate me for it when we are still establishing trust. These are solely conversations between him and I and my inner concerns. His daughter and I adore each other, and her mom is supportive of our growing relationship, even offering fiancé and I to have her for Thanksgiving and Christmas this year. So, am I the jerk for delaying or even breaking off our engagement over this? Sick family wants to have Thanksgiving at my house, and I said no. So, my nephew was diagnosed with hand, foot, and mouth about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. We also found out the other day that my sister and her husband have recently contracted it from their son. I should add they live with my parents. But because they also have HFM, it was decided that Thanksgiving would be moved to my house. But they said they wouldn't come. Well, my mom just called me today to inform me that my sister, her husband, and their son will be joining us at my house. I told my mom that I did not want them in my house because they're still contagious at this point. I have 4 children, one of which gets sick easily. And the last time it was in my house, my 3 older kids were out of school for weeks. They all reacted badly and had blisters as well as severely peeling skin that bled. My mom then said that they will be gloved up and sitting at a table separate from everyone else. However, their son will have free roam of my home. He's under 2 and therefore gets into stuff and still puts things in his mouth. I told them if they were so set on coming to my house for Thanksgiving, why couldn't have it at their house? My mom said because then they would have to sanitize everything. I said it was unfair that they weren't willing to sanitize their house to make it to where people could come over, but they wanted to come to my house and infect my household. My mom then started to cry, said she wouldn't have this conversation with me, and hung up. I wanted to add this since a couple people have been asking, why is it even a question? Why would I allow anyone from that household into my home? They are providing 100% of the Thanksgiving meal. Also, my husband and I are in some legal trouble that my parents are giving us a gift that will help us relieve that situation. However, my family is the type that if I tell my mom no to anything, even if it is the reasonable answer, she will renege on her promises and take the gift back. That's why I'm considering allowing my mom and my dad to still come over for Thanksgiving. But I put my foot down with my sister and her family. If I wasn't so reliant on their help, I would 100% just cancel the entire holiday. We also can't reschedule due to this being 100% on my parents. The only thing I have say in is my home. I talked to my dad and sister. They are not coming over. My sister got defensive, but my dad put his foot down on my behalf. He's also going to talk with my mom and calm everything down. Thanksgiving will happen some other day when people aren't contagious. So am I the jerk for telling my mom that they're being selfish and I don't want them in my house? Am I the jerk for telling a midwife I did not want her on my care team after she refused to treat me and added false information to my chart? I am 38 weeks pregnant. Yesterday, I had an appointment with a midwife I had never seen before. The medical assistant told me to dress down because I was scheduled for a cervical check and to get my 39-week induction set up, which they only schedule if you are dilated. I have high risk factors documented in my chart, and I had been having regular contractions since early that morning. The midwife came in, barely swabbed me for my GBS test, and immediately told me she saw no medical reason to check my cervix and no reason to schedule an induction. She also insisted I was not high risk, even though my chart literally lists the risk factors that qualified me for earlier monitoring in the first place. I tried to explain that I was actively contracting and had been since 3 a.m., and she said, I have been with you a couple minutes and I do not see you contracting. She dismissed every concern I brought up, acted like I was wasting her time, and refused to provide any of the care I had been scheduled for. She also seemed extremely reluctant to touch me at all. I am Mexican, and she is white, and the way she spoke to me and shut me down made me feel like there was bias at play. I finally told her I did not like her attitude, we were not going to work well together, and I did not want her on my care team. She said fine and asked if I needed anything else. I told her to please leave so I could get dressed and go. Later on, I checked my chart and saw that she documented a history of victim partner abuse. I have never said anything even remotely close to that. It is completely false and incredibly inappropriate to add to my medical record. I felt sick seeing it. I called the office manager to file a complaint because I am furious. This midwife refused scheduled care, dismissed real symptoms, ignored documented high-risk factors, and added a fabricated abuse history to my chart. I want her nowhere near me or my pregnancy. My partner thinks that telling her straight up that I did not want her involved in my care might have come across harsh. I feel like I was well within my rights to advocate for myself in that moment. So am I the jerk for telling the midwife I did not want her on my care team and filing a complaint about her conduct? Am I the jerk for laughing when my brother was diagnosed with diabetes? So, for context, 17 female, has 2 siblings, my older brother, who I'll call Jay, 21, and my little sister, who's 7. For the longest while, ever since I started puberty, my family would not stop calling me fat. I'm 140 pounds, and doctors say that's normal weight, but to my family, it's considered fat. Jay, however, is the most active participant in calling me overweight. He always tells me that I'm going to die from heart disease or be diagnosed with diabetes because I eat too much, but Jay eats way more than I do. He sits around the house doing nothing, and the excuse I get is that he's a growing boy, so he must eat. On my birthdays, I don't get cake or any special meal, but Jay does. When I make dinner, my mom tells me to make a lot so Jay is able to eat all he wants. But when anything finishes in the house, who gets blamed? Me, even if I've never touched it. A whole liter of juice finished by me even if I took only 1 cup snacks? I finish them. Leftover dinner? Me. Everything is always finished by me no matter how much I try to prove that I didn't do it. Eventually, I stopped putting up a fight because I knew it wasn't me, and arguing with people who were dead set on believing you ate everything didn't get anywhere. I go to school from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., I don't eat breakfast or lunch, and when I get home the only thing I eat is dinner, and I go to bed around 10 and wake up at 5 to get ready for school. So how could I finish anything in the house? A few weeks ago, Jay came out of his room one day and told our mother that he didn't feel well, so she took him to the doctor. He told the doctor that he was feeling sluggish and dehydrated for the longest while, so the doctor told him to get his blood tested, and that's what he did. And what do you know? He was told he had diabetes type 2, to be exact. I watched as my mom and Jay stared at the lab results in utter shock and disbelief. Jay was so dumbfounded that I couldn't help but laugh. Jay and our mom looked at me with a mixture of shame and rage. My mom grabbed me and had me get a blood test as well because apparently if Jay had it, so did I. But when the lab showed that I was healthy, I laughed even harder this time. My mom went ahead and told the entire extended family that I laughed at my unfortunate brother instead of feeling sorry for him, and now I'm being lashed out at by everyone. And since Jay's food intake has been restricted, everything in the house has been spoiling. So am I the jerk? Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit stories. All rights belong to the original author. This video is for narration and entertainment purposes only.